You were taught to save, to be the top student, to wait for the perfect moment, and to never dream big without capital. But what if all of that was a lie? What if the truth is, with just $300 and a rebellious mind, you could flip the entire game? This isn't a fairy tale. It's a strategic map few dare to reveal, because it dismantles the system, because it teaches you how to break the rules, and most of all, because it forces you to act. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Let the journey begin, from nothing to empire, where only the bold, the defiant, and the relentless are crowned kings. Don't let the number $300 fool you. This isn't some magical financial fairy dust. It's living proof of a harsh truth. Those who know how to build empires from nothing rarely share everything, because success is an unfair game. Outsiders see a miracle. Insiders know its strategy, discipline, and extracting power from chaos. And you must tear down the fence and enter this game by force. Nobody will hand it to you. You must break in, take your seat, and rewrite the rules. That's not optimism. That's the only way this works. The real secret isn't how much money you start with. It's how you value your first move. Most people aren't broke. They're blind. They lack vision. They can't turn pressure into fire. And worse, they need someone to believe in them before they believe in themselves. But those who build empires don't wait for permission. They move while everyone else hesitates. They see $300 as ignition, not limitation. This is not about resources. It's about a mindset so radical, it weaponizes scarcity and turns it into dominance. Going from $300 to billions isn't a walk in the park, but that's exactly why those who do it become unstoppable. It's not luck. It's the refusal to wait, to ask, or to be given a chance. It's the mindset that says, if I have little, I must act bigger. That belief kills excuses. That belief forces action, and it leaves no room for comfort, only results. The idea that small means nothing is financial suicide. Action isn't optional. It's the first law of financial rebellion. Every financial dream starts with a single move that most people call insane. The difference between the successful and the stagnant isn't intelligence or education, it's who takes the first step. Most people drown in delay disguised as planning. They think too much, do too little. Meanwhile, empire builders act even when they're unsure. They don't wait for clarity. They create it through motion. They don't calculate until conditions are perfect. They take messy, immediate action. While others sit, they leap. And that leap, however small, separates the builders from the watchers, the lions from the sheep. Movement creates momentum. Action doesn't always produce instant results, but inaction guarantees nothing. Results are built through repetitive, consistent behavior that's often boring. Dreamers quit after one attempt. Doers keep showing up through 10. Success doesn't come to the inspired, it belongs to the relentless. Action is the antidote to fear. No matter how uncertain, scared, or unprepared you feel, stepping forward resets your brain and builds resilience. Those who win take action before they're ready. The market doesn't care about your feelings. It only responds to execution. Thoughts without action are just noise. Real moves create real change. Here's the part no one wants to hear. Your perfect plan means nothing without a first move. Builders rarely start with clarity. They start with chaos. They refine while moving. That's where the edge is. Waiting to be ready is a lie dressed as logic. The ones remembered aren't those with the best strategies. They're the ones who moved when no one else dared. In the world of wealth, nobody recalls the planners. We only honor the bold. The act of starting, flawed, fast, and fearless, is worth more than the greatest business plan never executed. Self-belief is not optional. It's the price of entry to survive in the brutal arena of business. If you don't believe in yourself, the market will chew you up and spit you out. Most of the criticism you hear isn't about you. It's a mirror of others' fears and limits. If you don't challenge your own beliefs, you'll live by someone else's standards and die by their mediocrity. Winners don't wait for validation. They act from internal conviction. Self-belief isn't a slogan. It's the engine that powers you through silence, doubt, and resistance. Without it, you're dead weight. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's a weapon against hesitation and paralysis. Believing in yourself means choosing a path that others won't understand and not needing them to. Empire builders don't seek approval. They don't beg to dream big. They simply do it. They set their own standards and force the world to adjust. True confidence doesn't come from applause. It comes from knowing your value so deeply that even rejection can't shake it. The bold are not louder. They're clearer. They walk with a certainty that cuts through chaos. That's not luck. That's inner alignment turned into outer impact. If you want to break through, ask yourself, am I living my truth or just acting out a script someone else wrote? That question ignites belief. The truly successful never compromise with doubt. They convert other people's skepticism into fuel. Self-belief isn't philosophical. It's tactical. Without it, every financial strategy collapses under pressure. You can't borrow confidence. You must build it through reps, through fire, through decisions that scare you. When you trust your direction, the world bends to your will. Without belief, your empire is just a shell waiting to crack. With it, nothing can break you. Success doesn't begin in glass towers or million-dollar pitch decks. It starts in cramped rooms, empty hands, and someone willing to do it all. Starting small isn't a disadvantage, it's an unfair advantage. It forces you to understand every part of the system. No one can deceive you when you've touched every layer yourself. Real business knowledge isn't found in theory, it's found in chaos. When you solve problems firsthand, you build decision-making instincts that no course can offer. This is where true leadership is born. In discomfort, in pressure, in mastering what others delegate. Start small. Own everything. Wearing multiple hats isn't humiliating, it's sharpening. You're the strategist, the packer, the janitor. If that sounds beneath you, you're not ready to lead. This isn't the time to impress. It's the time to transform. When you build from the bottom, you gain unshakable awareness of your operations. You don't just make decisions, you feel them. You know what a delay costs. You know what a mistake smells like. Business schools simulate leadership. This is leadership. Doing everything once teaches you how to lead everyone later. Start small, not because you must, but because that's where empire builders get their edge. As your business grows, the temptation to scale fast will come, but the wise expand with precision, not pride. Starting small teaches you how to optimize. Every decision must produce real value. You learn how to allocate, how to hire only when necessary, how to focus on what moves the needle. Growth isn't about swelling, it's about deepening. The world rewards lean, agile, ruthless execution. Real empires don't need polish, they need backbone. And nothing builds backbone like starting from scratch, doing everything yourself, and becoming irreplaceable through experience. Start small, scale strong, stay dangerous. Rejection isn't failure, it's a required phase in your evolution. If you plan to build an empire, you'll hear no 100 times before your first yes. Weak minds crumble. Strong ones get sharper. Each rejection is a psychological vaccine that hardens your resolve. Rejection doesn't kill you, it kills your inner coward. That version of you that craves safety and applause must die. Only then can the real version emerge, the one who can handle scale, risk, and ridicule. Rejection is not the end. It's your conditioning ground. Train in it, bleed in it, and come out unbreakable. True strength isn't about avoiding pain, it's about weaponizing it. Every no is a lesson. Study it, decode it, then use it. The market doesn't care how many times you fail. It only cares whether you show up again. Winners return with sharper language, cleaner offers, and thicker skin. Rejection is where elite salespeople are born. It teaches you emotional control, adaptability, and persuasion under fire. If you can't stand being told no, you're not built for wealth. Learn from it. Grow through it. Each rejection is feedback. And feedback is gold for those bold enough to mine it. You can't sell anything if you don't first sell yourself. Confidence isn't something you borrow, it's forged in fire. And rejection is that fire. If you refuse to burn, you'll never shine. A mediocre product sold by someone with conviction beats a great product sold by someone uncertain. Rejection teaches you to inspire. People buy certainty, they buy belief. If you don't believe in your value, no one will. Rejection is the mirror. It reflects the cracks in your mindset. Fix them, or they'll destroy every pitch, every opportunity, every empire you try to build. Collaboration isn't politeness, it's survival strategy. Anyone who thinks they can build an empire alone is delusional. But not everyone deserves a seat at your table. You don't need people who mirror you. You need people who can challenge you, clash with you, and fill the gaps you hate admitting exist. Good collaboration creates synergy. Comfortable collaboration kills ambition. Don't pick the easy teammate. Pick the one who forces you to evolve. Building alone is slow. Building with the wrong person is fatal. Choose wisely. Choose someone who pushes you. Choose someone strong enough to disagree. Effective collaboration is when each person brings a unique view, skill, and standard, and accepts conflict as part of the process. If everyone agrees too quickly, you're not in a team. You're in a comfort group. Real empires are built by people who argue, adapt, and win together. If you fear confrontation, you're not ready to lead. Innovation is birthed in tension. Progress emerges from friction. Those who succeed together are those who can collide, rebuild, and still move forward. You don't need harmony, you need pressure-tested alignment. Only then does collaboration become exponential. The right collaboration dissolves resource limits. Each person brings leverage. You bring the vision, they bring the network. You bring execution, they bring access. Together, you multiply. But that only works if both parties endure discomfort for the sake of growth. Collaboration isn't about getting along, it's about growing strong. If you avoid tension, you'll only ever collaborate with mediocrity. The empire you want demands alliances that test you, stretch you, and sharpen you. Anything less is cosmetic. Anything less will collapse. Collaborate with power, not preference. The market shifts daily. If you bring yesterday's strategy into today's war, you're already dead. Adaptability isn't weakness, it's evolution. It doesn't mean you lack conviction. It means you adjust your methods to protect your mission. The rigid are proud until they get crushed. The adaptable care less about being right and more about getting results. The game rewards the fluid. No one honors those who stuck to failure. The scoreboard only favors those who adjusted fast enough to win. Adapt or get erased. This isn't a debate, it's survival. The future belongs to the flexible. Adaptability is your sixth sense in business. It can't be taught, it must be earned through pressure. When change hits, you have two options: complain or calibrate. The weak blame, the strong shift. Those who lead with agility don't need to know everything. They just need to know what to change, when, and how fast. This ability to pivot quickly is an asset money can't buy. Speed kills in both directions. Be slow to adapt, and you'll bleed. Be fast to realign, and you'll dominate. Stubbornness is not strategy, responsiveness is. Adaptability is not optional. Adaptability isn't just about strategies or products, it's about mindset. If your beliefs can't evolve, your empire will rot from the inside. Worse, you'll still think you're ahead while you're being left behind. Stagnant thinking is a silent killer. The adaptable redefine industries, rewrite rules, and redesign offers. They don't panic when the game changes, they redesign the game. If you can't adapt, you will be outpaced, outmaneuvered, and forgotten. The marketplace doesn't care about your legacy, it rewards evolution. Be liquid, be lethal. Be willing to become new before you become obsolete. There is no breakthrough for the cautious. Anyone dreaming of success while clinging to comfort is lying to themselves. Those who build empires aren't lucky, they're dangerous. They bet everything, not just money, but time, reputation, and blood. Risk isn't the enemy. Fear of risk is. If you don't step into uncharted territory, you'll always be an outsider to greatness. Playing it safe is the most unsafe path there is. Fortune doesn't whisper to the careful, it screams to the bold. If you're not willing to go all in, step aside. This table is for warriors. Taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. It means choosing uncertainty on purpose. It's acting with incomplete data because inaction is worse. Builders don't wait for green lights. They build roads where none exist. They don't say, when I'm ready. They say, let's go, now. That's not foolishness. That's strategic aggression. The decisive beat the careful every time. Bold action, backed by conviction, obliterates hesitation, wrapped in logic. Waiting for the perfect moment is procrastination in disguise. You don't need more time, you need more courage. And courage always looks like risk from the outside. Risk is the language of disruptors. No empire was born from playing it safe. The greatest achievements are built on risk layered over risk. Ask yourself, what exactly are you protecting? Pride? Ego? Or a life you haven't even tested yet? If you're always avoiding failure, you'll never succeed loud enough to matter. The rewards don't go to the careful, they go to the fearless. If you won't pay the price of failure, you forfeit the jackpot of legacy. This isn't a warning, it's a dare. Step forward or stay irrelevant forever. A business will never outgrow the mindset of its founder. If you stop evolving, the entire system decays. The market won't send warnings before it devours the stagnant. You are your greatest ceiling. The business you run is merely a reflection of the person you are. If you refuse to learn, to evolve, or to confront your own blind spots, your strategy is already rotting beneath the surface. Growth isn't an optional extra. It's the oxygen of longevity. Without deep personal transformation, no structure will stand. You can't scale chaos. You must master yourself or be overtaken. Personal growth isn't about taking more courses. It's about confronting the truth. You're not good enough yet. That's not weakness, it's awareness. It's tearing down ego, admitting flaws, and changing before the market forces you to. Every step your business takes is mirrored by an inner step you've taken first. The more precise your mind, the sharper your decisions. The more disciplined your habits, the stronger your systems. No leader becomes exceptional by accident. Power flows from within. Without a deeper version of you emerging, any external success will eventually implode. Leadership is an inside job. Happiness and performance aren't enemies. They are allies in personal evolution. The real entrepreneur doesn't just build revenue, they build a better self every day. Your greatest asset isn't your product, your market, or your brand. It's you. If you become mentally average, your empire becomes structurally fragile. Everything you build inherits your inner limits. That's not philosophy. That's mechanics. Only a person of depth can lead a company of strength. Your growth is your insurance. Without it, you're playing business. With it, you're building something immortal. Become the version of you that your empire needs to survive. Giving back isn't charity. It's strategy. In a world where trust is rare, a strong community is the foundation that keeps your empire standing when everything shakes. You can't buy loyalty with ads, you build it with value. Take without giving, and you'll be isolated. Give with purpose, and you'll be surrounded by allies. This isn't about looking good, it's about building something unshakable. The people who benefit from you will fight for you. That's not soft power, it's structural reinforcement. Legacy isn't made by taking more. It's cemented by how much you elevate others along the way. Communities don't need your favors. They need your impact. Giving back is a calculated investment in your own sustainability. When you elevate others, you don't just earn loyalty, you create a ripple effect of trust. At that point, your brand stops being a product and becomes a movement. People don't abandon movements, they grow them. When you give intelligently, your reputation compounds. You're not just a business, you're a force. Reputation built through contribution is the ultimate insurance. It cannot be bought, it must be earned. And once you have it, the market will never forget your name. If your only mission is to make money, you've already lost. An empire built on numbers will fall to one built on purpose. You need a reason to exist long after you're no longer in charge. Giving doesn't shrink your wealth, it multiplies it. Through trust, through goodwill, through impact. The people who leave a legacy aren't the richest. They're the ones whose communities want them to win. When your wins feel like theirs, you've reached the highest form of business. That's not generosity, that's domination through purpose. And it's how legacies are carved into history. It was never about how much money you had. It was about how dangerous you were willing to become with what little you had. It was never about luck. It was about your capacity to absorb rejection, pivot with chaos, and bet everything when others backed down. Empires aren't born from perfection. They are forged in fire. And if you're still waiting for the right moment, you'll forever live on the sidelines, watching, analyzing, hesitating. Now is your moment. Burn the excuses. Build from zero. Start with $300. Start with hunger. Start with yourself, because no one is coming to save you. And the final decision, who you become from here, has always been yours alone.